Dan, I know you've sold a few of these G650s yourself. And we have a list, actually, of some of the famous people who own these jets. You've got Lorene Powell Jobs, Phil Knight, Steve Wynn took the first, I think, G650 out of the factory. Paul Allen, I'm told, you've spoken with him directly, wants one.
We have, and yes, he is in the marketplace. Obviously, everything's very anonymous and quiet in our business, but he is an active buyer searching for the right aircraft that meets his needs. And
how long has he been looking for one?
As far as I'm aware, it's been over a year that he's looking for this aircraft, and it's a very specific requirement that he has and a price point that he wants to be at. So, as you might imagine, in this demand, there's only a few aircraft that ever come to market annually.
Okay, but you know this business, obviously, and you know these guys well, but come on, Paul Allen is worth billions. We're talking about $65 million or maybe a little bit more than that. He doesn't want to pay up for that?
It's not an issue of money. He's certainly got the money. It's finding what he wants and paying the price he wants, and that's the difficult part. And equally for the sellers who waited multiple years for this aircraft to deliver, their decision point is, do I sell this aircraft and take this profit? How do I replace it in the marketplace? I can't go and buy another one. The next spot is 2017 second quarter. So for sellers, it's another difficult decision. If I sell and take the profit, what will I do?
So why is this plane so coveted? I don't get it. Why? I mean, I know it's cool.
It's the fastest flying plane ever built in civilian aviation. It's the longest flying aircraft ever built. So that combines for most billionaires that have the needs for such an aircraft. This is the only thing they can buy.
Okay, so we know, as you just mentioned, we know they're billionaires, millionaires, they're trading them, or companies are as well. Bernie Ecclestone, the F1 founder, is also he actually owned one. He sold his for a profit, over a $10 million profit.
That's correct.
Which is hugely unusual in this world.
It is not in the long-range aircraft space. You have supply and demand. You have a company, Gulfstream, that had such unprecedented demand for the G650 in 2008 when they announced it to the public. There was over 200 orders at almost 60 million a unit at that time in one day.
200 orders in one day.
200 orders.
Had you seen anything like that before?
No one had, certainly not Gulfstream. And Gulfstream developed a system to handle this order overload, and it was whoever sent their $1 million deposit in first into the bank account was number one delivery, number two delivery. So as you
So it didn't matter who you were?
It did not matter who you were. And so you've got billionaires around the world yelling at their bankers, make sure my deposit's there first.
All right, make sure my million gets into the bank account first. Okay, so Gulfstream must be sitting pretty happy, but then you've got Bombardier, who's the rival.
Correct.
And they just announced their global 7,000 and 8,000. And how does that compare to the G650?
The 7,000 will be the largest aircraft, corporate aircraft ever built. It goes a little less than the G650. Its range is 7,300. The G650 range is about 7,000. The new 650ER is 7,500. And the global 8,000, which will be the biggest one of them all, or the furthest flying, or rather them all, goes, as you might imagine, 8,000 miles. So I would assume Gulfstream is working on the G750 to
rival that one. They get bigger and faster.
They do.
But Bombardier does something different, though, than Gulfstream, right? They do allow, actually, people to buy positions, right? They allow you to cut in line, essentially.
They do. They do. They support the sale of positions from owners to facilitate the owners' change in financial needs, change in decisions. So unlike Gulfstream, which has a very hard and fast line, they do not allow the sale of positions. You take delivery of the aircraft.
And why don't they? Why don't they?
I think it's a decision they've made internally to protect from speculation. But as you might imagine, you cannot protect from speculation when you're dealing with billionaires who buy what they want to buy when they want to buy it.
I was going to say, I mean, if you've got that much money, somehow I would think you would find a way.
There's ways,
to get
as
around.
You might imagine. It's creative attorneys around the world.
And you've flown in one, right? In a G650?
I have not flown in the 650s. I've been in several of them, but I haven't actually got to take a trip with my clients.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. Dan Jennings, a private jet company. Maybe you'll sell one to Paul Allen. Who knows? Coming soon.
Thanks, Betty.